Hey there, my geometry cats. Today we are going to be looking at 8.2 properties of parallelograms. First thing you gotta ask yourself is, why am I here? Why I'm in good old geo? The next thing I gotta ask, can I get a date with someone sometime? Well, anyway, definition of parallelogram. A parallelogram is a quadrilateral, has four sides, with opposite sides parallel, with both opposite sides are parallel. Because if only one set was parallel, it'd actually be a trapezoid, which we'll talk about later. So there's four big things we gotta remember. This is going to be true for all parallelograms. So squares are a parallelogram, right? Rectangles are parallelograms. Rhombuses are parallelograms. So these properties I'm going to give you are true for all those shapes because they're parallelograms. First thing, opposite sides are congruent. Alright, so if I draw a beautiful little parallelogram, let's see if I can do my best. Alright, not bad. And if all these are parallel to the opposite side, first thing I found out was that these opposite sides are congruent. The ones not touching are opposite. Alright, now the second thing we gotta know about them. The oppo angles are congruent. So when I look at this beast, I have this angle is congruent to this angle. And this angle, remember the opposite ones are not touching. It's congruent. I don't know why I put 3, but I'm going to put 3 over here too. So one's looking at each other. The big angles are congruent and the little angles are congruent. And just like when we did properties of parallel lines crossed by transversal, all the big angles are congruent, all the little angles are congruent. And what do the bigs plus the littles equal? 180. So they're supplementary. So all my big angles are congruent, all my little angles are congruent. A big plus a little is 180, which brings me to my next point. Consecutive angles, those are the ones that are right next to each other. Those would be consecutive. These are consecutive, these are consecutive, these are consecutive. Are supplementary, they add up to 180. Okay, so big plus little equals 180. Just like with our the thing we did in chapter 3. And lastly, this picture's gonna get wild. So I'm going to draw another one over here. Oopsie doodle. That's a better parallelogram. If I draw diagonals in here, they cut each other in half. So those are diagonals. They go across the shape and they bisect each other. If you know just these four things, the rest of this unit is a lot easier. Okay? So take a second. Digest that. Take it in. Then let's see an example. Alright, let's look at number 1. Number 1. It's a parallelogram. So I know each opposite side is parallel. Alright, first thing I want to do is find AD. And add. Just watch YouTube. Okay. So AD is opposite BC. So if BC is 8, AD is also 8. Okay. Okay. What about DC? Our capital. Or the inferior movie studio. Alright, DC is opposite AB, right? So if this is 15, this is 15. So far, so good, right? Now let's find some angles. Now this one only gives me one angle. Right away, if this is 68 degrees, I know this one's congruent, right? So this is also 68 degrees. So I'm going to do that first. I don't know why. Just did. Now what do I know about my big angles plus my little angles? Well, they add to 180, right? Consecutives are supplementary. So to find angle A, I can do 180 minus 68. And 180 minus 68 is 112. And if angle A is 112, angle C is 112 degrees because opposite angles are congruent. Whoa, calm down there, mousy. Okay. Okay. Boom, quick cut. Alright, we're going to go to number 3 and then call it a day. Number 3 has some diagonals in it. So, on number 3, let's find UT. So UT is this length down here, right? Well, UT is opposite RS, so they're both 27, right? If RS is 27, UT is 27. Now let's take a look at ST. ST is opposite RU. RU what? I don't know. UR. Okay. So that'd be 18 as well. What about VS? Huh. VS, if UV is 7, and this gets cut in half, it means each piece is congruent. So if this is 7, this side over here is also 7. What about VT? Here it tells me this whole thing is 30, right? Now, diagonals bisect each other. So if the whole thing is 30, half of 30 is 15, because each of these have to be 15. Okay? Oh, I said we done. Yeah, I'll end it. I'll do more of these in class. Alright, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something.